The ultimate in sports destinations plays host to the ultimate in youth volleyball talent with teams from around the country and around the world. Today, these AAU stars hope to dig deep, proving to themselves and their clubs what it takes to be champions. Welcome to the 44th Girls Junior National Volleyball Championships. Final championship matched here at the AAU Junior National Volleyball Championships as the best in the Midwest get set to take on the best in the state of Florida. OTVA Rocks Red battles Asics Munciana from the ESPN Wide World of Sports. As we welcome you inside our state-of-the-art studio, Drew Felios alongside the former Florida Gator, Missy Whittemore. This should be just an awesome match. We've got Florida and we've got Indiana. Indiana, a team that we saw earlier today, now the 16-year-olds. An age bracket very unique, Missy.
It is. I think these players bring so much energy to the floor, and we're going to see a lot of athleticism, so I expect this game to be played high above the net, and yet I think it'll be won on the ground. Talking to both of these coaches, they talked about the importance of the serve-pass battle and the defense as well. All
right, let's take a look at the road to the championship. This Asics team, not very big, but they beat a Mizuno Northern Lights team that was imposing here at these national championships. They do it with energy, they do it with variety. And on the other side, Rocks Red, OTVA, a volleyball club that is second to none in the Southeast.
You better believe it. This is a team that's going to be fierce at the net, and yet I think they understand the importance of digging balls in this final match if they want to stay in the long rallies with Munciana.
They are 16 years old and under, but some of them are committed to big-time universities. Savannah Vach is headed to the University of Miami. Samara Hill, number 6, going to LSU. And also keep an eye on number 9, Baum, headed to USC, Southern California. She'll play her college volleyball. And their head coach is Sydney Snow. She's very old school. She thinks that her team is the underdog coming in here today.
She certainly did feel like the underdog. She said, we've got to show up ready to play or we'll get wiped off the court quickly. She's sending that message to her team. She wants them to jump out early.
And on the other side for Asics Munciana, number 9, Kylie Muir is committed to Ohio State. Also, Bonnie Bostic is going to Arizona. Aside from that, several other players getting looks. This is a team, though, they've got a ton of talent, and they feel like this championship is theirs to take.
And I think the other player to keep your eye on is Rose Duffy. Number 1 will be their setter, and it'll be up to her to keep that offense going. And if we know anything about Asics, they like to run a fast offense.
Their head coach is Randy Gardner. Third time that his team is going to take the podium over the last 4 years. He's the head coach at Muncie Central High School in Indiana, a powerhouse in the Midwest, as OTVA will wear the red here this afternoon. And the white will be worn by Asics Munciana. Munciana, of course, they're 18 and unders, won the national championship and just finished runner-up in the world title game to Dominican Republic. Best of 3 sets in AAU volleyball. Rally scoring to 25. Our third set will play to 15 if necessary, and you do have to win by 2. Underway, 16 Open Championship. And the first swing dug up as Hill was able to get it over, and the point goes to OTVA.
It looked like they were going to let that go, a little bit of a sloppy play there at the net, but they do make that ball handling error call, and so it's going to be a quick point to OT here after this big swing on the outside. I like the fast pace of that offense.
Yeah, we're going to see it in this match. Bonnie Bostic, the outside hitter, number 10. Big part of the attack for Asics Munciana.
She is already committed to Arizona, and she is definitely their do-it-all player. She's had a great tournament, played really well earlier today, and hoping to carry that momentum into this match.
Nice dig that time. Now a play at the net. Good dig on the other side. Bostic sent back, but it goes out of bounds, and that's 2 straight for the future Arizona Wildcat.
That time Bostic into the big block of number 2 in red. Landrum up there at the net, but she uses those hands and wipes it out of bounds.
Now 2-all. Take a look at Ariana Arjoman for OTVA. This club representing Orlando and Tampa. Also, a few athletes in their system from Gainesville. Zadie Warfield puts it into play. Tapped once again by Bostic. Bostic active here early. They find her again on the left side. Bostic able to keep it alive. Muir put it over. OTVA, top of your screen. That's a big smash by Warfield. Make it Samara Hill, number 6, the future LSU Tiger.
A big rip by Samara Hill. She cuts this one inside the block. And right now the advantage at the net and physicality seems to go to OTVA, and that's why it's so important for Munciana to control first contact.
Bostic up against the net. Point OTVA. Brittany Landrum along that front line.
The block is certainly there, but that one getting a good bit of the net tape as well.
Now Asics Munciana struggling just a bit, a little bit out of sorts, and OTVA wants to take advantage.
And their coach said, we can hang with anyone if we win the serve pass battle. That's not happening right now. You saw that ball straight up in the air off of the passer's arms, and the setter's having to run and use a bump set, doesn't have options offensively. They're at their best when they run a really fast offense, and right now it's being slowed down by that first contact.
5-2 lead now. Swinging is Vach. Another try by Hill. Vach and Hill teaming up here early. Vach keeps it off the floor. Now Asics Munciana goes to Bostic. She gets denied. The block right now a big factor. 6-2 OTVA.
Another look for Bostic. They do change it up in that they run her down the middle to try to give her something different to swing at, but it's really a very slow developing play down the middle, and that gives the advantage to the block.
First slide is sent back. OTVA's front line can really get up. Samara Hill, you're going to be following her, Missy, in the SEC.
And she is really going to fit in at LSU. The way she plays above the net, fast from side to side, so athletic. That is all her on that block, and that's an elite level play for a young player.
Now it's Vach, and chalk up another one. OTVA, they feel like this is their home court, center court at the HP Fieldhouse. Other teams have to travel here. This team familiar with this facility and this event year after year. Here's Warfield, sets it up. Vach looking for the touch and doesn't get it. It'll be a point for Asics Munciana.
Vach there on the right side, that commit to Miami, was put in a really tough position. I like the setting choice in terms of trying to get away from the flow and give her hitter that one-on-one opportunity, but the ball just a little tight to the net, and Vach couldn't quite get to it.
Ace serve. Asics Munciana definitely needs more of that. And that's something that Coach Randy Gardner really emphasized, says we've got to serve. Our passing has to be on point as well. Ball control going to be absolutely key here.
The good news for Asics right now is that they have really struggled to find a groove early in this set, and yet they're only 2 points down.
Quick tip over. Kylie Muir able to track it down. Now C-ring. And is that a net violation? No, it will be a point for Asics Munciana.
C-ring here on the left side, and you see how she cuts that around the block, a really nice cut. And I think the question of the net violation was in her follow through, if she got into the middle of the net. I think she may have, but the up official doesn't see it.
Touched over. Muir right there. Now C-ring. Both these teams matching up fairly evenly. Longest point of the match right here. Played along the front line, and Michael Ivy. It's funny, Ivy may follow her last name. Her coach, Randy Gardner, says she's probably going to play in the Ivy League. How about that?
Wow, good for her. I tell you, I really feel like the long rallies lean in favor of Munciana, and they did a good job of sticking with that long rally and allowing that to play into their strength, which is their transition from defense to offense.
Asics Munciana staying aggressive here. They have tied it at 7 apiece. After being down early, Ivy the quick tap. Warfield keeps it alive. Now left side, the block is on. Rocks Red keeps it off the floor. Not this time, no. Ivy, an imposing figure up front. Now the crowd's into it from Indiana.
Ivy taking away that front court offense for OTVA, so they decided to try something a little different out of the back court. Yet I don't think the play call was really on, so they catch that player coming out of middle back a little off guard. She doesn't have a full approach at the ball.
Ivy right now has got the hot hand. This is Salvatoriello. Madison Salvatoriello in the game right now, number 13. Getting her some chances. Vach, all of a sudden, OTVA cannot find a clear path. Well, what has happened over the past few minutes, Missy, to this OTVA bunch?
Well, you know, I think Munciana said we want to play with crazy energy, and they have upped the energy level on their side of the net. They've allowed themselves to create some momentum, turning 1 point into 2, just feeding off of the energy out there.
Timeout, OTVA. Asics Munciana huddles up. Let's listen to their head coach, Randy Gardner.
Body control. We got to get the energy going on our side of the court. We started doing that as a group. Pass and attack. Got to take care of the ball. Roll off guys, be in the right spot. Number 1, passion, energy. Dictate the game with our pace. Play with heart. Dictate it there. Service line. Pressure's on them now. We're starting to get them a little off. Make sure we keep it up. Push them right now. Let's get to 15. Go, baby. Timeout.
I really like his message. You know, in the last age group that we saw, the 18-year-olds, sometimes that passion and that energy, Missy, was a little bit lacking. Now, the talent was superior, but you're right. You said at the top of the show, sometimes the 16-year-olds, you get a little bit more pep in the step throughout the match.
You know, they're younger. This is for some of them, it could be their first time at nationals. You know, they just bring such energy to the court. These are players who, a large number of them have not committed to colleges yet. So they still have a lot ahead of them. They're playing for a lot. Very talented players, you know, looking for college offers. And, you know, I think still excited, though, just about the joy of bringing a championship home to their team and the friends that they play with right now.
Here comes Vach. This one dug by Muir. And let's see, it goes long, but it did get the touch. Asics Munciana does get the point. There you take a look at Mallory Porcher, wearing number 5 for OTVA. If that last name sounds familiar, that's the daughter of Robert Porcher, former 3-time Pro Bowler, spending 12 years with the Detroit Lions, a household name in the city of Detroit, and he is just loving the week here as you take a look at Robert, one of the greats in the NFL, tremendous career, 95 career sacks, and he is watching his daughter, very proud father here today.
And to have played his entire career with the Detroit Lions, really incredible.
Molly Hunt comes back with the kill for Asics Munciana. You know, it's amazing too. Some of the greatest athletes with the greatest careers that have played in the biggest moments say that they get the most nervous when they're watching their sons or daughters play. Is that the case with you, Missy? I know you've got some athletes that you're raising at home.
Oh, you better believe it completely, because you feel like you have no control. If you're out there, you feel like you have a little bit of control of what's going on, but to watch your kid, and I think you feel the pain and the agony more than they do, honestly.
OTVA led early on. Just take a look at Mallory. Mallory, a force on the front line for this Rocks Red bunch, trying to get momentum back for her team. That one put down. That's a good job by number 7, Morgan Romano.
Romano with that lethal left hand there on the right side. That is that dominant hand when you're swinging from the right antenna. You don't have to allow the ball to cross over your body. You're able to cut it off with that left hand. That's what makes her such a great right side attacker.
Molly Hunt hits through the block, number 2 for Asics Munciana. That crowd is very active over there for Asics.
They've certainly had a lot to cheer about today as their 18 open team wins the national championship, and then they turn around not much later and have their 16 open team in the national championship as well. A great showing for this club team.
Three-point game, and here's another look.
And this is what Munciana does really well, is they use their dominant outside hitters all along the net. So they're not just setting them out to the antenna, but in that particular situation, she's able to roll in offensively there in transition and get a big rip down the middle.
Sophia Oliphant now heads back to serve. Romano, stuffed, but out of bounds.
Going back to the lefty there on the right side. Their middle blocker, Porcher, at that time, goes with the setter, trying to pull the middle blocker. And credit Munciana's middle blocker for the nice movement she makes to her left to close that, and still OT is able to come up with the kill.
Bostic was denied, so the block coming on for OTVA. So what you're seeing, Missy, is in the sport of volleyball, people don't realize how disciplined you have to be if you're a middle blocker staying at home, right?
Wow, I mean, to defend in the middle first, to defend that middle blocker, and then release on the outside. If you're not going to cheat at all, if you're just really going to stay home, you have to be so athletic, so fast from side to side, the reflexes you have to have, and then the ability to just be a workhorse, because you're going to make that movement so many times throughout the course of a match and not be rewarded with a stuffed block. But what you're being asked to do is funnel balls to your defense. And so sometimes the best blocking doesn't result in the stuffed block, but it results in balls being funneled correctly into your defense that allows you to transition. And there's just not a lot of accolades for that, so you got to be a workhorse.
It's been a game of runs up to this point, and right now the momentum with OTVA.
Blocking, blocking, blocking. Let's keep the middle quick. You're going quick. You're in the air before she sets. If the middle stays with her, we go away. Okay? Fast arm swing by you. Fast arm swing. What they got?
It's 2, 8, and 10 in the front row. 2 and 10 are their go-to options. We got to make sure we see the go slide 2 coming out of this every time. And
be ready for them to hit the line. You got to dig. Come on.
Well, Coach Snow, one of those coaches that wears her emotions on her sleeve. We also had a chance to say hello to Tanya Jarvis, the head coach at Bishop Moore High School, who's also involved in this OTVA Rocks Red program. Great coaches, great athletes. As now Bostic. Hammers were tied at 15. This one finds the corner. Oh, that was very close, but they're going to give it to Hill.
We'll get another look at it. A nice turn down the line. And then you have to look to both line judges on that, because one's looking to see if it was too long and one's looking to see if it's too wide. They both gave the in flag.
Could not have asked for a more competitive first set of volleyball. Dug by Arjamon. And now the lefty comes through. It's Romano once again who's given her team a lift.
Romano, that left-handed player, and so often if you're in a gym and you don't train with a left-handed player on the right side, it can be very different defensively in terms of where you set up and how you dig that player and how you block against that player. So some of the best teams in defending right side players with a left hand play with one in their own gym. And when you don't train with someone like that, it takes a little bit of time over the course of the match to adjust.
Bostic able to hit it down for Asics Munciana. Asics Munciana, this team, watch their counterparts and the 18 and under get the World Championship runner-up earlier today. Saw them take the medal stand. They stopped everything in their warm-ups to watch their teammates in their club. There you see Tanya Jarvis right there in the white shirt for OTVA, part of the Bishop Moore numerous state championships, playing high school volleyball here in the state. And what a club they have working in OTVA.
And there's Ivy again in the front row for Munciana. She's been very effective in this match. We've seen her athleticism in terms of her blocking, but offensively, she's scored a lot of points.
18 all. See which team is able to separate here. We play on. Official right on top of it. And this kill is down. That's Ivy again.
Ivy one-on-one and just overpowering the block. She comes right at her middle, and really OTVA getting good help from the left side, trying to get 2 blockers up against her, even down the middle.
Vach came up just short. Now from the back row, oh, Samara Hill.
Samara Hill is not afraid to swing hard, front row or back. You have to like the passion she plays with, the way she just goes up and gets it.
All tied at 19. C-ring. Oh, Hill got caught up that time with Hunt. And that could be a very dangerous play. You saw 2 players kind of going in the same direction there.
In younger teams, you'll typically see both players back away. No one calls for the ball, but with the passion we're seeing here in this championship, instead 2 players going for it. We see the big collision.
There's Vach, pounding right through. Savannah Vach, future Miami Hurricane. Head coach Sydney Snow for OTVA calling Vach's number. She wants her involved here late in this first set. There's the joust, and it's Ivy coming up big.
That's great timing on the part of Ivy when there's a joust at the net like that, a ball up high. Often it's the second player to touch the ball that's going to win that battle, and she times that really well.
Nice kill by Salvatoriello. Madison Salvatoriello headed to Towson.
And this is a great swing, but I also like the tempo with which they're setting the ball to the antenna. We've talked a lot about tempo in terms of the Asics club and how they like to run a faster tempo style offense. But that's a fast ball to the antenna there by OTVA, and they're able to capitalize on the speed of their offense.
Hitting off the block, Molly Hunt. Back and forth we go. It's been a set of runs, but now both teams trading points. Coach Gardner is up. Well, he gets into it. For Asics Munciana, team really feeds off his passion. Vach's kill attempt is dug. Here comes Ivy again. Porcher taps it over. Bostic. Seeing some great digs on both sides. Vach again. Bostic able to put it home.
And they told us Rose Duffy, the setter, would have to keep the offense going for Munciana. She had a one-hand set early in that rally, and then here she is well off the net, just a bump set. That's really all she can do with it, and yet she plays it up into a position where it's still a killable ball, not just a hittable ball.
We want to take the setter out. We don't want them to use a setter. So if you're up front, power tip or push it to 1. Guys got it? What are we in right now? 2. We're in 2. Okay, now you're coming around. Okay, for the fade, coming around the fade, you got to feel where their middle is. Okay, if she stays with her, you're setting away. If she commits, then you set her. Right?
Discussion there about choice balls. Offensively, when you're in a position where you're maybe out of system and you just have to tip it or place the ball over the net, they're saying let's make sure in those choice situations we're forcing their setter to make the first contact, because then their offense will break down if she's not able to set the second ball.
Stop play for the moment. Let's see, they're gonna award the point to OTVA. So 23-22, and now side out for this team from Florida. Tori Baum will serve, headed to USC. She'll be a Trojan. Right side, and the attack is just wide. All tied once again at 23. Brittany Landrum in the game. Also Samara Hill. Bostic. And this one's headed out. So the kill awarded to Molly Hunt. And now it's set point.
And again, we've seen the block be such a huge part of these championship matches. Sometimes the block, they're trying to do a little too much, as we've also seen the hands get used quite a bit. And as we said earlier, sometimes you just want to funnel the ball to your defense.
Asics Munciana, a serve that's a little too hot to handle to end set number 1. That was a seesaw battle back and forth, but Asics Munciana did not make the errors late. OTVA did. First set to the team from Indiana, set number 2, just around the corner.
Champion Stadium at the ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex has been the home of Atlanta Braves baseball since 1997. This preeminent multi-sport complex hosts athletes from over 70 countries in more than 60 sports, all in the halo of the #1 family vacation destination, Walt Disney World Resort. For more information on visiting the complex, visit ESPNWWOS.com.
My bad. I'll just sit over here. It's all right.
Win 1 MVP.
It's time for a little NFL football, and nothing says football like a Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. How about that?
I'm going to Carolina in my mind right now.
I think Ron Rivera is going to be happy with that.
The ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex is the ideal place for amateur softball, hosting annual events like Disney Softball Spring Training on top of working with organizations like USSSA and Diamond 9 Events to develop competitive events for players of all ages and skill levels. For more information, visit ESPNWWOS.com.
Welcome back to the ESPN Wide World of Sports 16 Open Final at the AAU Junior National Volleyball Championships. Asics Munciana comes on late, and they steal it from OTVA. Here's the numbers. What gives so far in this match, Missy?
Well, right now, the digs category, 5-3 there, Asics leading the way, and that's going to be a point of discussion for this Rocks Red team here between sets 1 and 2, because their motto coming into this match was, we've got to dig balls.
Yeah, the block was critical early on as OTVA going to the defense. It was effective. OTVA came roaring out of the gates.
OTVA, big blocks there, but of course it's Romano with that left hand on the right side who was deadly at just the right time. And then we see the response from Bostic and Munciana, 2 big kills on the left side by the do-it-all there, number 10 in white, Bostic from Munciana.
Also was number 7, Ivy. Cash it in. Molly Hunt, the kill there, showing no fear. Asics Munciana getting it done. Their head coach, Randy Gardner. I remember him a couple years ago when he said, this match is going to be like a street fight. That's what he said. I was like, Coach, are you sure this is volleyball? Takes a very aggressive approach to this game, and he implements that killer instinct into his players. And Missy, they take it, they run with it.
And, I think it's a theme throughout their club. As we had the opportunity to talk to their 18 Open team earlier today, and they talk about the fact that we've got to play with crazy energy. That we're going to be the team who's going to be a little bit of a mess emotionally, but we're going to feed off of that.
Whenever you were a player, Missy, were you a mess emotionally?
I don't think so.
You were the steady force for the Gators back in the day, right?
I'd like to think so.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that that's true.
Well, so many bright futures amongst these players. Malaysia Bryant right there for Asics Munciana. Going to be hearing a lot of these names on the collegiate volleyball circuit and some on the national and world stage in years to come. But the first set going to Asics Munciana, and now OTVA trying to answer. Vach sets it up. Romano the first swing. There's the block once again, starting set number 2, just like it did the first set.
And this feels a bit like deja vu as we see that big block for OTVA setting the stage here early. Great movement there by Porcher in the middle to her right. Good footwork, able to close, 4 hands in front of that attacker.
Porcher trying to be more of a factor here. Molly Hunt for Asics Munciana gets a kill and then heads out of the game. Work that right side, and it's Romano. That one had some, that ball was humming. It was coming really, really hard.
You know, and I like the fact that they've worked the ball to her twice already early here in set 2. If you look back to set 1, they didn't have a response for that lefty on the right side. So why not? I think that's a great game plan early to get her involved.
Asics Munciana, though, has not let OTVA really get comfortable here so far. They have done it with a variation. Kylie Murnau. That's what they need more of. Savannah Vach. She could take swings like that. They like her chances.
This is such a good look from the outside. And you see that time the middle for Munciana stayed honest, stayed home, tried to defend the middle attack first and then release and close. But it was such a fast-paced ball out to the lefty antenna that she was not able to get there, and that creates a huge hole in the block.
Quick shot by Ivy. Doug, now Hill gets it over. Another joust. Landrum was tied up there. And mistimed by Ivy. And OTVA able to win that battle on the front line.
Really, it's a good idea there by Rose Duffy as she tries to go to the middle in transition. Something that Munciana is known for, that quick tempo in transition, trying to beat the defense, but the timing's slightly off.
Ivy again. But it just seems like her timing is just so perfect every time she elevates. Very disciplined player, number 7.
She's got great touch and she has the ability to hang in the air. She also doesn't give up on the ball. So she doesn't have a nice arm swing at the ball. She doesn't freak out, keeps her composure, and she just places it well with her tip shots.
Here's Hill. Back row now. Bostic couldn't score. Ball barely makes it over. Let's see if Hill gets a swing. No, instead they go the other way to Vach. And Savannah Vach delivers.
Great ball movement that time on the part of OTVA throughout that long rally. We saw swings from the middle, from the right side. I like the way that they're forcing that Asics block to work the entire net.
Ball's gonna hit the floor. Asics Munciana gets another point.
Hard-driven ball. She's well off the net and yet drives it deep into the defense, eats up that defender. And what looked to possibly be out of system there for Asics, they're able to convert to a point.
Ivy sneaking one through, and OTVA just cannot handle it like a hot potato.
And this is what we've heard the Asics coaches preach to their setters, is good choices in transition. That's a nice choice shot as she's getting, the block is getting help from the left side. She goes around that block into right back. Not a hard hit ball, but well enough place to score a point.
Good dig by Duffy. Now Hunt. Here's Vach again. And it's gonna be a point for OTVA. Savannah Vach now encouraging her teammates.
Oh, and it looks like this ball, we're gonna get another look at it. I believe the attack hits the antenna, or they're just saying it never touched the block. Excuse me, they're saying the ball never touched the block, just off the net tape out of bounds. So that is another point for Munciana.
Big surprise there. Vach does make up for it though, says come right back to me and I will cash this one in. She does.
And as an attacker, you have to love it when you end on a play like that, where you're a little frustrated and your setter gives it right back to you. You've got an immediate chance to erase any error.
These two teams so evenly matched. Hunt, another kill.
Molly Hunt, the right side attacker on this Asics team, but they're in serve receive. She's not afraid to swing from that left antenna at all. It gives them another option offensively.
You've got a match like this, equal talent on both sides. Most of the time, it's going to come down to who makes the least of the mistakes. So Munciana does not want more of those unforced errors, because those have been really, really hurtful to teams today.
They're so costly. It's that fine line as a coach that you walk between asking your players to be aggressive and yet expecting them to be low error. Where do you draw that line?
Then how about when an ace serve drops right in front of you? Do you consider that like an unforced error too, Missy?
Yeah, I think so. I think on that, you know, there's really great serves that catch the line and so forth, but on that ball, that's an error, but it's on the part of your teammates as much as the passer, because she can't pass and watch the line, so you're really needing some feedback from your teammates as to whether or not that ball is in or out.
C-ring, a good swing there. Asics Munciana able to equalize now, all tied at 8. Tapped right back by Bostic, just waiting for that one as it hung in the air forever.
Serving and passing, so important. At this level, it's important, but at the next level in college, where these girls are all headed to play volleyball, the serving takes a step up at that level, and so the passing becomes all the more important.
Right now, Missy, they are serving right at Samara Hill, number 6, for OTVA. They go right back to her. This time able to dig it. Salvatoriello denied at the net, kept it alive. Romano will tap it over, and this one goes wide. So tell us, Missy, when you're the best offensive threat and a team continues to serve at you, how does that make you at a disadvantage as another timeout is called?
Well, lots of times attackers, you know, they don't enjoy practicing the passing as much as they do the offense. And so you want to put them in an uncomfortable position. And some really good attackers, you just want to overload them over the course of the match.
Put it back in her face. I'm not just going to do this. You got to play with some attitude. Okay? You can. I know you can. But right now, we need you. We need you to shut down the right side. Okay? You have to get available. Whatever. Off the net, on the net, available. Yell at her to set you the ball. We got four hands on the pins, and we can't do that. Okay? You decide what to do right now. Relax on serve receive. You got it. Relax.
Well, there is that point in the match where all kindness kind of goes aside, and you got to look your players in the eye and say, hey, it's now or never. I think we just reached that point with OTVA.
Yeah, and yet you notice as Hill takes the floor, she's saying to her, relax on serve receive. You're just fine. You're just fine.
Romano comes back. This is Molly Hunt. All of a sudden, Molly Hunt, kind of a change of pace for Asics Munciana, and OTVA has not been able to figure it out.
This is a ball from the right side, and really the ball is set well inside, so not a good block setup by OTVA.
Romano sent back. How about Hunt again? Taking over the match at the moment alongside Ivy and Bryant.
We talked about the early success of Romano with that left hand on the right side, but as the match progresses, it seems as though Munciana is starting to figure her out.
Romano, she can't get it over. The block led by Bryant. 3 straight points for Asics Munciana. Timeout OTVA.
It's fun. Doing a heck of a job blocking-wise, MJ. That's what I'm talking. Bearcat Nation, baby. Make sure we keep pushing. Heck of a block over there. 13's their guy. They're going to go to her. Watch her coming inside. Make sure we know where she's at. Keep an eye on her. Watch the pass. Find the attacker. 13's getting the ball. 7's your backup plan. Let's go.
What a job Randy Gardner has done. On the other side, OTVA looking for answers at the moment. Madison Salvatoriello, a key role for this team. Can she step up her game? Here's Porcher on the slide. That's a nice play by Mallory Porcher. They've got to get her more involved.
Yeah, she's got to make herself available, be very verbal in transition, and demand the ball. That's a completely different look for OTVA, and we're just now seeing it midway through the second set.
AAU is all about development. All of these players getting better here today. and a championship moment. Asics Munciana has found a hot hand. Her name is Molly Hunt.
Yeah, to win a championship, you got to have a couple people who really shine. And right now, Molly Hunt is shining for Asics.
Yeah, people that just kind of come in out of nowhere and able to get red hot. That's what Hunt has done. Bostic now says, I'll take it from here.
The block is there for OTVA. Bostic just blasts it off those hands, and you don't get the defensive response there. Off of that block, the ball goes up into the air. It's really hard to chase down.
Here's Porcher again. Kept alive by Vach. Now Romano. And finally, Morgan Romano has been quiet here today. That's her 4th kill.
And notice that because they're forced to bump set there slightly out of system, I think it works to Romano's advantage. The ball isn't as tight to the net, and the block sort of had her number there the last couple plays. So she's off the net. She really has more room to swing that way.
Right in the middle of the court, Brittany Landrum, one of the few times she's had a clear path, wearing number 2 for OTVA. It'll be a side out for Ariana Arjaman and company.
And for as good as that OTVA block has been at times, we haven't seen the offense out of their middles. And then we see Porcher on the slide in this set. And here's Landrum down the middle, another wrinkle in their offense.
Legal touch. What happened that time, Missy?
The ball set too low there in the middle to Bryant from Munciana, and she has to drop her elbow, just a really awkward lift at the ball, and they call that an illegal contact.
Trailing by 4. OTVA. Can they come back here? Bostic took a little bit off it. They go right back to her. And the block this time successful.
And this is a hard rotation for any team, especially a young team, where you have setters in the front row, you only have 2 hitters in front. And oftentimes that left side hitter is going to get back-to-back balls if you're slightly out of system. All the defense camped out waiting for her, and that's just a tall order for a left side hitter.
Timeout for Asics Munciana.
In the middles. Middles available. Passing's there. Get available. Throw the ball around. Setter's back, I think, right now, right? She's up?
Hands are live. It's 8-10-1. 10's the go-to.
10 is what they're doing. You have her number. Make sure press everything back into 6.
If 10 stays in front and comes in on the 2 ball, you have to jump with the 3 only. Got it?
So we're trigger walking on the 2 then, right?
Yes, 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 yes. One at a time.
Hey, OT on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Off blockers, off blocker. Make sure you come in just a little bit, okay? Come on.
We're talking about Monty Bostic. Obviously, if you're OTVA, a lot of things you do schematically revolve around containing her. And here she is. Romano and Bostic going head-to-head at the top of your screen. Quick hit, nice dig by the back line of OTVA. Bostic. Kept alive now. It's going to be Hill.
OTVA said to win this match, we must dig balls. And it might not be pretty, but it's got to have a whole lot of effort. And that's what they had in that long rally. Really nice play.
Bostic the touch. Romano keeps it off the floor. Hill again. And it's going to be a point for Asics Munciana. So all of a sudden, a little bit sloppy on both sides handling it.
Savannah Vach there backing up, just never really quite got balanced. The ball rolls out of her hands. And the UP officials, I think, have let them play, and yet the real blatant ball handling errors they have called.
Big shot that time. Oliphant on the deck, keeps it alive. Now it's Hill. This one's not coming back.
Hill has done a great job swinging high. We haven't seen her get blocked a lot throughout this match. She's gone high off those blockers' hands. Really nice control.
17-15. Rocks red, 2 points down, and this one served wide. Another critical service error.
That took a lot of guts by Oliphant to let that ball go out of bounds, but that's a great decision. The decision not to play the ball results in a point for Munciana, and yet that took a lot of guts. She had to know exactly where she was on the court and follow that ball all the way to the line. Really, it's a huge point for this team.
Usually you see players let it go when it's going long, but when it's going wide, that is tough to judge, especially as close as it was. Now it's Warfield, up to Hill. Samara Hill has really played solid here this afternoon.
She has been a nice attack on the left side. The only problem we've seen her have was in serve receive, and I love the way she kept her composure. She didn't allow it to get the best of her. I think when you overload a really good player and get in their head defensively or in serve receive, that can convert into their offensive game and throw them off, but she has not allowed that to happen.
How about the game that Ivy has had? Just could not have played better on the Asics Munciana side. How about this slide?
And they really needed an infusion of Ivy here. She's just been reinserted back into the match. They needed a different look. We've seen a lot of left side swings from Bostic, and with Ivy back on the court, it allows them to switch up their offense.
It's going to be a really tough stretch for OTVA. Munciana's going to be tough to catch. Molly Hunt, they keep on feeding her. She has been in a lot of ways the X factor. Big time shot by Tegan Searing.
And just a really well-disciplined shot. She doesn't have a huge approach at this ball. It's not a dynamic attack, but just really well-disciplined. As you see, she swings real high, snaps the wrist, and a ball high up off the block travels far off the court over everyone's head. That's just not going to be playable.
Ivy now to serve. Hill with the dig. Vach hits it out. Oh, mishit that time, and the lead extended to 4.
I like the idea here by OTVA to come down the middle. Don't force their attackers to swing into 2 big blocks waiting for them at the antenna, so I like the idea. Just wide.
OTVA desperately needing a point. They'll go right side and get it from Vach.
There she is, looking comfortable at that right antenna. Even though she has 4 hands in front of her, you can tell that's where she is most comfortable.
Now Vach heads back to serve, needing a run here for OTVA. Dug nicely that time. Now from the right side, Romano denied. Bryant got up high, and right where there was Bostic.
You see the huge celebration from Munciana, and I think that tells you a little bit about how good Romano has been, though, because you celebrate even more when you've worked really hard to try to defend someone, and she's had great success, had a really nice match, and I think that's why you get the big response from the Munciana block.
Another block and another point for Asics Munciana, closing in on a 16 Open championship. Starting to sense it on that white side.
Their 18 Open 1-1 earlier today. Can they make it 2 for this club?
They would be the story of this AAU Junior National Volleyball Championship. They can get this done. OTVA had a stellar run in the younger age divisions. But 16 and 18, if you can take home titles, that is huge for your club. Salvatoriello can't put it over. Now Bostic tries to answer. Right in front of the net. Oh no, she was over a little too far that time. Bostic got a little giddy.
I think it's probably the right call, but I like a player who's being aggressive at the net. I'm never, as a coach, going to be upset with that style of play.
Addie Warfield now serving. Right side, Hunt. Vach keeps it in the air. Now it's Romano. Hill puts it over. Look at Asics Munciana hustling towards every single ball. Hill again, and it finds a spot inside the line.
And early in that rally, you heard a lot of yelling from the Asics crowd. They felt like there was a ball hit on the right side by OTVA that never cleared the net tape. They were saying, we didn't touch that, no block. The call didn't come. They stayed with the long rally, and OTVA ends up winning it.
Porcher taps it over. Hunt. OTVA cannot let another ball hit the ground. Murr, the libero, very active. And there's Molly Hunt again. She heads out of the match. Talk about an unsung hero for Asics Munciana, as she just had a phenomenal match of her life.
And that was awesome footwork. As you notice, she's a right-handed player on the right side, so the ball has to cross over her body for her to take a swing at it, and her footwork becomes really important to get to the ball in order for her to be able to swing line, and that's what she did right there.
Match point now, and Hill's gonna extend it. Samara Hill, one more kill. Hope still alive on the OTVA side.
Another fast-paced ball to the antenna to Hill, and that's very hard to defend.
24-21, they need one. Munciana goes to their star player. Bostic can't deliver. How about a second time? Not gonna happen.
You know, and on the second ball, everyone was waiting for it. The defenses were clumped up over there. I think she should have taken a swing at the first ball. The second ball should have been the one where she used her off-speed shot when she just had everyone waiting on her.
Now a tap, not able to get a great swing. Good opportunity for OTVA here. Hill can't score. Go back to her one more time. Samara Hill pulls OTVA to within one, and now Missy, things getting very interesting.
They certainly are. Muncie may be pressing just a little as they hang ball after ball to the outside. They just need to stay consistent with their game plan.
Scream like bloody, 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 bloody heck here. Run the slide, set the 4. Rip it, rip it, rip it, cover. Make sure we got 2 guys underneath Bonnie ready to cover. Bonnie, bring us home, baby, bring us home.
Well, a design play by head coach Randy Gardner. And Missy, what can we look for Asics Munciana?
Well, we said they've hung balls consistently to the left side, and perhaps that was a problem. But he says, you know what, Bonnie's our star. We're putting it on her shoulders right here. And he said, bring it home for us. So they are going to fake a slide, and he's asking that middle attacker to really, really call for the ball in hopes of pulling the middle blocker just long enough to give Bonnie a hole in the block.
Let's see if it works. Munciana goes one way. Bostic gets a swing. Now one more try. Kept off the ground. Hill puts it over. Tense moments here at the ESPN Wide World of Sports. Bostic's shot goes down, and Asics Munciana has won the 16 Open Championship.
And Bostic, with some weight on her shoulders, comes up big for the 16 team, and Asics has another national championship.
What an exciting match. It all came down to this. Bostic had a few swings, and the third one was the charm.
And it wasn't from the lefty antenna. She rolls into the middle of the court to give herself a different look. She was sort of in a hole out there on the left side, couldn't come up with the kill. A different look, a different outcome, and that's exactly what they needed.
Asics Munciana, a very happy bunch. Head coach Randy Gardner. The team really feeds off his energy. It has been a joy coaching these young ladies. They battled all week long. The semifinal was a grind, and the championship was no easier as they defeat OTVA 2-0. Missy, what a day of volleyball action we have had. This has been awesome.
We have seen so much talent here today, and I think the passion of this 16 group is a great way to wrap it up.
It certainly is. Well, Asics Munciana takes the 18 and under and 16 and under. They are the club of the day. Also, congrats to Dominican Republic doing great things. Our crew did great things as well. For our entire television crew inside the production center, alongside Missy Whittemore, the former Florida Gator, I'm Drew Felios. Hope you enjoyed the AAU Junior National Volleyball Championships. Congratulations to Asics Munciana, 16 Open champions.